From MontanaSports.com, this is MTN Sports Extra.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Sports Extra on a Saturday night. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a little outside of our wheelhouse. Lacrosse is not a sport that's often associated with Montana, but a pair of Missoula athletes are taking their talents to the next level to compete in college. MTN's Kyle Hansen has the story.
Lacrosse is a niche sport in Montana, but signs of the game's growth are prevalent. Look no further than the Spartan Lacrosse Club in Missoula, one of the top teams in their region, and a program that is seeing their players find more frequent college opportunities.
I remember my 6th grade year, we had to play with like 3rd graders. It was 2nd to 8th grade, which is like a huge range. That's like 8-year-olds and 13-year-olds playing. But it was just like the only opportunity to play lacrosse. So having a JV team and a varsity team is really cool.
Olivia Shepard is one of a pair of seniors on the Spartan Lacrosse Club team that's headed to compete at the college level. She'll play at the University of Hartford next year in Connecticut, an NCAA Division III school. It's a return east for Shepard, a senior at Hellgate who moved to Montana when she was 7 from New York, but found a community and love for the sport.
Yeah, it was very special. I mean, being in lacrosse, there's only like 10 people who have ever gone to college to play lacrosse, so it's very small, and it's just like a great opportunity, and I'm really excited.
The other is Sentinel senior Callie Crass, who will head to Division II Newberry College in South Carolina to play at the next level.
I'm a super athletic, centralized person. Like, I love to play sports, all of them, and my entire family's that way. And so just getting the opportunity to keep doing it for another 4 years is just so special to me, that I can keep being part of a team, keep running around like crazy, and just have that flow with the team and just play lacrosse.
Crass had a later start in lacrosse with a steep learning curve, but immediate connection.
My brother played, so I actually grew up learning on a boy's stick. So I had to make that transition over to a girl's stick. And then I started my 8th grade year, which is kind of a late start for a new sport, but I picked it up really fast and I had a great first coach. So I just immediately fell in love with the sport.
As lacrosse continues to grow in Montana, so will the Spartan program. For Shepard and Crass, it's a sport that's given a lot back to them as they begin these next chapters.
It's taught me so much about teamwork, using other people. I've learned how to deal with wins and losses. It's helped with my mental abilities to think about things clearly, really leaving it all out on the field and then being able to wrap it up, catch my breath, and play the next game. I just think it's given me a lot of self-control and a lot of skills that I need in my actual life.
Reporting in Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
Well, Gatorade won't name its Montana Softball Player of the Year until June, but a Helena High senior is making a strong case as the top pitcher in the state with a string of head-turning performances. MTN's Johnny Walker has more.
If you're a fan of Helena High softball, well then you've seen a whole lot of innings end just like this. The Bengals have the best record in the Western AA this season, and a huge part of their success starts on the rubber with senior pitcher Faith Howard.
2 no-hitters, and 11 double-digit strikeout games. Now those might sound like video game numbers, but they actually belong to Helena High ace, Faith Howard.
Faith's a great person, like a person of high character, a person that always seems to kind of find the best in everybody else. I think that's a big part of why she has the success she does, is because she's just, genuinely herself all the time, and she knows who that is, and she's true to it.
But there's no such thing as a big-time pitcher without a big-time pitch. And for Faith?
I would say it's my rise ball. I've been working on it since freshman year, and it's done me good throughout all 4 years. I think I just have trust in it. I've thrown it so many times that it's just kind of natural to me, so then I'll set my grip just like that, and then I'll hold it kind of like this as I'm coming down, and then I just trust it. I know my body position, so then I'll just go.
And with Helena High in firm control of the Western AA's top spot, the impact Faith and her rise ball have had on the Bengals season can't be overstated.
It's a huge role. And Faith's the person that's going to turn and look at everybody else, and she's going to point to teammates. But certainly what it is her confidence. I think her confidence in the circle, makes us a more confident team. And I think the girls buy into that, and it becomes contagious.
And we're just a couple weeks away from the high school softball playoffs. The Class AA tournament is set for May 22nd through 24th in Great Falls. Reporting in studio, Johnny Walker, MTN Sports.
High school baseball is seeing great success this season following some big expansion around the state. MTN's Alec Boffinger, though, checks how that's affected the other side of things.
It may be one of the more thankless jobs around, but Jason Hardy loves calling the balls and strikes.
I love the sport, first of all, and the kids deserve someone out here. You know, the students deserve to play. They deserve to have a fair game, and I like to be a part of the game. This is how I stay engaged.
And honestly, I think he's done really good. He's got things to work on, as we all do, but he's out there and he enjoys it, and that's the biggest thing is to take that love of the game and just keep going with it in an officiating capacity, I guess you could say.
With the expansion of high school baseball in Montana, especially here around Billings, the demand on umpires has increased. Now, these are folks with jobs outside the MOA, so there have been difficulties this spring.
And the hardest part is some of these games are they have 11 o'clock weekday games, or even Tuesday night I worked at 3 o'clock, 3 and 6 downtown. And so you got to cut out of work early, get down there. We try to arrive an hour before game time to make sure we get ready pre-game, go over everything. So it can be difficult at times.
It can really be a stretch, covering them. Sometimes we got to call schools and say, hey, we can't do that time. Can you do earlier or later? And then guys are having to go from game to game and time to time and really stretching their family time at that point.
For guys like Hardy, though, the stresses are worth it when the kids can play the games. A longtime football official down in Oklahoma, he's finding Montana's climate a little more friendly for baseball umpires.
I mean, you got to stay hydrated first. I mean, I know that sounds so obvious, but you can really tell a difference if you're hydrated and you're not. So what I say to new officials is whatever you think is enough hydration, double it.
They aren't the first people we think of regarding high school athletics, but the game doesn't go on without the officials. In Billings, Alec Boffinger, MTN Sports.
Just ahead, a stop in Jefferson to catch up with one of the state's premier athletes. Sports Extra continues after the break.
There's more action online at montanasports.com.
Welcome back to MTN Sports Extra, powered by montanasports.com.
The Jefferson boys track team has a chance to win their 4th consecutive track and field title later this month. And one of the state's top athletes is doing his part with a full workload of sprints, throws, and jumps. MTN's Luke Shelton takes us to Boulder for more.
Hey everyone, MTN's Luke Shelton here at Bobcat Stadium. And come fall, Jefferson High's Luke Oxart will be donning the blue and gold and suiting up with Montana State. But before arriving in Bozeman, he has some pretty lofty track and field goals with the Panthers and a pretty sizable workload.
Yeah, so I compete in the 100, 200, javelin, shot put, and both the relays. Yeah, I did all of them as a freshman, and I slowly got better, and now I'm state qualified in all of them.
If you lost track, that's 6 events Oxart will be competing in at the upcoming State B meet. That's a whole lot of running and throwing, and there's one thing that convinced him to take it all on.
It's all about the team at Jefferson, so we all do events that we may not like, but it's all for the team at the end of the day.
And that team-first mentality has certainly paid off for the Panthers, who have won the past 4 state championships and will be chasing a 5-peat this season. Suffice it to say, this team doesn't need to look far for motivation.
All the guys work super hard, so it pushes everyone at practice, and at the end of the day, we're all pretty good.
I asked Luke, who has a pretty cool name by the way, what's been key to his team's dominance these past years. It turns out there's no secret formula.
All in the weight room, I think. Everyone on the team's in the weight room all the time. That's what helps us.
But football is Oxart's future as he gets set to join the Bobcats, and he believes that the speed and strength he's honing on the track right now will translate to success on the gridiron, where he's slated to play safety.
Oh, I'm pretty hyped. Especially with track, it helps with the speed, which is killer at the next level. It makes you so much more speed dominant, which at the end of the day, what truly matters.
And there's one final thing he hasn't accomplished as a Panther that he'd like to cross off the list before heading to college, earning an individual track and field title.
Yeah, I definitely want one for myself. It would mean a lot.
In Bozeman, Luke Shelton, MTN Sports.
Well, Fairfield is one of the smallest schools in Class B, but they regularly punch above their weight class in nearly every sport, including track and field, where they've already qualified several athletes for state. MTN's Will Charlton has more.
The state track and field meets are just about 2 weeks away, and as of now, the Fairfield Eagles will be well represented at the Class B event in Missoula.
Through last week, 7 athletes from Fairfield are state qualified in track and field. In the high jump, Class B's best girls mark of 5 foot 4 inches belongs to junior Natalie Harrell.
Just sticking to it and being consistent in what I'm trying to accomplish and just getting a little bit better each day.
She said watching videos of trainers on social media have been a big boost in having the top jump.
And those actually help more than anything, I think, but and just listening to what others have to say and advice.
Harrell's also hit the pre-qualifying marks in the 100-meter dash and long jump. On the boys' side, freshman Jack Hopwood is also qualified in the high jump thanks to clearing 6 feet.
I would like to jump 6'4" by state or divisionals so I can be above all the other freshmen in my class and in Montana.
The Eagles can show some longevity on the track as well as sophomore Asher Tweet is qualified in the 800, mile, and 2 mile.
I train a lot for just distance over the summer, like all year, just running.
Tweet is also a part of the 4x400 meter relay team, which is a little more than a second away from heading to state. He and fellow sophomore teammate Brody Carper said they think the group will get there.
We were pretty close last weekend and probably could place very well at state if we show up.
Everybody just got to run their hardest, put it on the line for your teammates.
Carper currently has Class B's second best time in the 110 hurdles, and he said he's motivated to take over the top spot.
A lot of work in the track and in the weight room, a lot of explosive stuff out of the blocks, getting my first steps down, and then in between the hurdles, keeping explosive.
Senior Kenzie Allen will also be heading to Missoula for the discus and 100-meter dash.
Obviously, I don't want to peak quite yet. That's for in-state, but I want to be able to either maintain my times and throws or just PR, do what I need to do to hit my stride when I need to.
In Fairfield, Will Charlton, MTN Sports.
Just ahead on Sports Extra, meet the Montana Tech rodeo team, which consists of just one cowboy. We'll be right back with more on the
Welcome back to MTN Sports Extra, powered by MontanaSports.com.
Montana Tech is home to the most interesting man in the Big Sky Region rodeo standings. MTN's Slim Kimmel introduces us to an Ore Digger senior who is at home on the track, the football field, and the rodeo arena.
When you rodeo, the ride doesn't always go your way, especially when you're a rookie.
I never rodeoed or anything. I jumped my first steer about a year ago today. It was always with sports and stuff, really busy. Never got into it until really last year and thought I'd give it a go.
But Peterson isn't your typical college rodeo newbie.
My dad rodeoed, my uncles, and my grandpa. My grandpa was a world champ. My dad was a 2-time college national champ, so always grew up around it.
Growing up in Dillon, though, traditional high school sports took first priority. Peterson was an all-state football player and track athlete at Beaverhead County High School. That led him to a college football career at Montana Tech.
Love the programs down there. Got a construction management degree, going into welding right now. Love the programs, love the football aspect. The coaches were great. Just fell in love with Butte.
So much so that he's having a hard time leaving the Diggers. He's wrapping up his 5th year at Tech this spring and will be back in the fall to begin his 6th year of schooling.
I'm going to stay, finish up, get a machining degree that kind of correlates with the welding, and I can actually get a fall college rodeo season, rodeo fall and spring, and then do indoor and outdoor track.
That's right. With his football playing days behind him, Peterson is now a 2-sport athlete for the Diggers, competing in this spring rodeo season as well as the outdoor track and field season. As a team, Tech placed 2nd at the recent Frontier Conference Track Championships, but in the rodeo arena, Peterson represents the Diggers all on his own.
It's all me right now, but living in Dillon, we got a arena at our ranch south of town, so run down there every now and then and practice and stuff.
As Tech's only rodeo athlete, Peterson has been forced to put aside the Diggers' rivalry with Montana Western.
They come out to our place and practice, and we run steers, got to know them really good. Like Jet Murphy was hazing for me today. He's been hazing for me throughout this whole season. So, yeah, definitely a great group of guys down there.
Peterson failed to make the short go at the University of Montana rodeo, but he did find some success at others this spring.
The biggest, having a good horse that can get you in the right position, and then just trying to slow things down, getting the horns nice and tight to your body, and being able to get that nose deep, getting your feet to place out right, and see where the chips fall.
And he's got the itch now. He'll try his hand on the pro circuit this summer before returning to Tech to give it another go in the fall.
I think it's just the thrill, the excitement, and just the adrenaline, and being able to travel and make memories and see cool places with a great group of guys. It's been really fun.
Reporting in Missoula, Slim Kimmel, MTN Sports.
Still ahead, a friendship that sparked a movement in Box Elder. Sports Extra continues with a look at a small but mighty Special Olympics team and the volunteer that makes them tick.
Download our free app and take MTN Sports with you. Just search Montana Sports in the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back to MTN Sports Extra, powered by MontanaSports.com.
Our coverage of the Special Olympics State Games in Billings continues in Box Elder, where I introduce you to a teen whose friendship sparked the formation of a powerhouse team and earned her a statewide honor.
Alyssa Dubois and Jay Bauman are a package deal. For most of their lives, it's been rare to find one without the other, whether on road trips, at sporting events, or on the dance floor. They're each other's best friend and advocate.
Yeah, I met Alyssa 15 years ago when I was about 3. Alyssa is the most perfect human ever. She's so adorable. She's so happy. So nice, very loving.
Alyssa has Down syndrome and is nonverbal, but she doesn't need words to communicate how much she loves and appreciates Jay. It's written on her face whenever they're together.
Good job!
That's the foundation that led to the start of the Box Elder Special Olympics team.
About 6 years ago in science class, and my teacher told me about how her brother was in Special Olympics, and I thought that was super cool, so I went home and told my mom about it and thought that we should get Alyssa involved.
I had 4 little kids at the time, so I was more focused on balancing a full-time job and parenting, so it never really occurred to me to take on more. And Jay was the one who's like, no, we will, and we can, and I'm so glad.
The team is small, consisting of just 2 athletes, Alyssa and Angel LaRocca. But over the years, Jay has taken on a leadership and coaching role for the Bears.
Okay, ready? Bend your legs as far as you can and push out. I just help take them around everywhere, take them to their trips. I help Alyssa practice, go swim sometimes with them, just help out a lot.
So it's fitting and not surprising that Jay was recently named the 2024 Special Olympics Montana Youth Volunteer of the Year for her tireless work supporting the Box Elder team.
I'm excited to announce Jay Bauman as the 2025 Youth Volunteer of the Year.
She's the one waiting at the finish line for them. She's the one getting them to the starting line. She's our leader. Really, she's our leader.
Well, MTN's coverage of the Special Olympics State Games will continue through the closing ceremonies on Friday, May 16th and culminate in a special program that same night. Tune into the MTN channel at 4:30 and 10 o'clock on May 16th for Magic Moments Special Olympics Montana 2025. That's our time for this edition of Sports Extra. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you.